It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Welcome to another cup of coffee, and we're through the 4th of July. You can see we don't have Will with us this week. He is on a family assignment, so we've got the model-like, svelte,
I'm never coming on this show again.
Mr. Nathan Bechtold, Mr. Everything over at Lake Expo, with us sitting in for Will this week. So many good stories this week. Lake water boating stories, craziness. Like maybe allegedly somebody threw a woman off a boat. Allegedly. So we'll talk about that. And then the guy fled. Allegedly, right?
We will allegedly talk about that.
We had a pontoon that was swamped by bigger cruisers, right? And so we're going to talk, are the boats getting too big on the Lake of the Ozarks? That's not going to upset anybody.
No, that will upset zero people.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly.
And I mean, a ton of that stuff. And then, I mean, a huge story that I think we have a new entertainment district that has been approved for the Bagnell Dam Strip, which could be huge as well. So we'll talk about all of that, so much more. And we've got an interview with a duck drop guy, right? So the duck drop is coming up. So all of that and more when we come back on Cup of Coffee.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're in the middle of our 58th anniversary sale. That means Slumberland's older than I am. That's almost as old as dirt. But don't worry, you're going to get great deals, you're going to get interest-free financing, and we deliver the entire lake area. That's right, deals for every room of the house and delivery the entire lake area. Come see us at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
A cup of coffee as we wake up, in the car, or right here on Lake TV with Will and Chris. Kind of like driving, we do it every single day.
But we shouldn't do it while distracted. Did you know that drivers who text are 23 times more likely to be in a crash? So keep your eyes on the road and always remember to buckle up and put your phones down.
This Drive Safe, Boat Safe message brought to you by Price and Randall Injury Attorneys.
Now back to your cup of coffee with Will and Chris.
Okay, cup of coffee this week. Nathan Bechtold with us from Lake Expo. Love Lake Expo. You guys kind of keep a tab on what's going on at the lake, keep the pulse. And you're the main stud over there, right? What is your title now? It's like executive owner, editor, director, writer,
yeah,
something
that's
like
exactly what's on my business card. That right there.
Last time I asked you what your title, I don't have any titles. You know.
Well, it just changes. So
you do everything though over there,
I do
right?
a lot of things. It is not a one-man show. I do a lot of things, but I like wearing a lot of hats though. That's my style. So we have a really great editorial team, sales team, marketing. Brent Simpson, our founder and publisher, is in it all day long, up to his eyeballs and all the things. Yep. So yeah, we got a team that grass does not grow under our feet.
No, it
especially
doesn't.
This time of year with all the things we're going to talk about today.
And I was looking at the numbers for Lake Expo a few years ago, and just the sheer numbers of millions of people that click on your stories and pages is amazing.
Yeah,
so
we got a great audience. Those people are literally the people that allow us to do what we do.
Yeah.
So thanks to everybody who reads Lake Expo and comments and all the rest, because they allow us to keep doing it.
Yeah,
it's
no
fun.
doubt about
and
it.
we are a big fan of Lake TV too.
Well,
You guys,
there you go. We're like tight at the hip, man. We love each other, even though he looks better than me. Okay. So many great stories right this week. So let's start off with this one. High-speed chase on the water. Power boater allegedly threw woman overboard and fled from water patrol. Wow. I mean, all of that is like off the charts. So here's a story. A power boater allegedly fled from the water patrol after throwing a woman overboard. According to the Missouri State Highway Patrol, authorities received a call around 8:19 p.m., right? And this was on Saturday, July the 12th, with the report of a domestic assault on the boats. Right? This is coming from the
Highway Patrol.
All right. So authorities were told that a woman had been thrown off the boat by a man around the 11-mile marker. The suspect was identified as Lauren Peters, a well-known powerboat racer. So the Water Patrol is called. They're headed that way, and then they see the boat.
They see the boat going
the other way.
The other way.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
about a mile from where the incident,
the original call.
The incident happened.
Yeah. Okay. So he was already headed out.
So from what I can tell, they flip the lights on and go, and then allegedly he flees and I think those water patrolmen probably got to drive those boats like they stole them.
Yeah. Well, apparently on his boat, he has quad 450s.
Yeah.
Right. So we're
Pretty
talking
heavy boat, but yeah, it's what you need for a center console of that size. But yeah, I think the thing can go about over 90 miles an hour. So I mean, I don't know how fast he was going, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fast boat.
Yeah.
So
they chase him, and he gets out of the boat and then flees on foot. Apparently. Allegedly, according to the alleged story.
Yes.
Fled on foot. He was apprehended, arrested about 24 minutes after the original call at 8:43. So these are the charges that he allegedly faces. All right. Boating while intoxicated. That kind of goes with the story. It would seem like there was a little brown flu involved, maybe.
Could be. Well.
Yeah. Resisting arrest. I guess that's because he fled. Right. Careless, imprudent operation of a vessel.
That's the catch-all for any time you do anything and they need something else to throw at you.
Yeah, and you're going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah,
right?
when you do something stupid on a boat.
In the dark. Well, I guess it might have still been light. And then, of course, domestic assault, fourth degree.
Right.
So all of this is alleged, but that's coming from the highway patrol.
And those are the things he was arrested on. It's like they arrest him on these potential charges. As of us talking about this, I have not seen that any charges were filed. But sometimes that takes. So, anyways, I mean, it could be a different charge than that, or no charges, or anything. So. Crazy story. Though.
Yeah.
Crazy
Did you
story.
catch any heat for that story?
I caught a small amount of heat for that story, which, whatever. Not the first time, won't be the last.
Yeah.
But we just reported what the Highway Patrol said, and that's what they arrested it on. Sometimes the flip side of that on these stories is that if a person doesn't end up being charged, or if it's like, wow, a story turned out to be completely different from how we originally thought. Yeah. I think it's important to report on that stuff too, because it's like, well, that person then, then there's something different going on here, right? So like, again, we report what happens, and we got some crap for it, but we always, that's
See,
all right.
that's one of the reasons why we love Lake Expo. We just report your stories, man.
Right.
You guys have to take
we always like to pass the buck. I just said what the Highway Patrol said, man. I don't know.
That's right. That's absolutely.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what comes out of that.
And I wondered if, they've got that show Ozark Law now, where they're following the cops around with cameras and stuff. I would love to have seen a camera on that boat. I wonder if they're doing cameras on the boats out there.
I don't know for sure.
I don't
know. I've heard that talked about, but I don't know if they actually put a guy on a boat. Maybe it was a Saturday on a busy weekend. Yeah. Maybe. We'll see. I guess when the new season comes out.
I would have loved that. That would have been good. Okay, here's another hot button story here for you. The headline says, Pontoon capsizes on Lake of the Ozarks, throwing occupants overboard. Serious stuff, right? Pontoon capsizing, people thrown overboard. So here's the story. Fun outing on the lake took a dangerous twist when this pontoon capsized. This was Saturday, July 5th, right? So a couple weeks ago. Threw the family into the water. The boat had been righted by the time Captain Chris Stockton upstream towing arrived, but Stockton said he was told by the Highway Patrol, all right, again from the Highway Patrol, that the pontoon was capsized by the wakes, multiple, from large cruisers.
Yeah.
Multiple. Okay.
Yep. Well, we know there's large cruisers on the lake.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously. Drive over the Grand Glaze Bridge on any weekend.
Yeah.
And you go, whoa, those are some big boats.
Yeah. And, for any of us that have been out on boats, we're usually out on the pontoon if we go out. And you have to be really careful of those big cruiser wakes.
Yeah.
And if it's busy, if you're out on the weekend.
They get you at nighttime, especially because you can't see it coming. And I mean, I was on a boat with a friend. It was a 40-foot boat. It was a really big boat. And it was night and he didn't see it. And a cruiser wake caught us like from the side. I mean, like people fell down.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It was, I mean, that can happen. That's real.
People can get hurt.
Yeah.
I've been in situations where, you've got boats on both sides, so you can't really go into the wake the way you need to avoid the biggest problem, and then you get swamped in the front, or whatever the case might be.
It would be silly to pretend like that doesn't happen on the lake, right? But people get like that when you talk about this stuff, people get instantly divided two directions. Yeah. Either one group goes, don't talk about that, just get a bigger boat. Or
suck it up. Don't go out on the weekend.
Suck it up, whatever. Right, and then there's another group that goes, we need to get all the big boats off Lake of the Ozarks. And I think both groups are kind of unrealistic, honestly. Yeah. Because are there big boats on the lake?
Yes.
Yes, there are big boats on the lake. Are there big boats always on the lake at all times throwing dangerously crazy wakes? No. In fact, I would even say most of the time.
Right.
It's really rather nice. We have a view out our office of the main channel.
Beautiful view.
Around the 13-mile marker or something. And summer days, weekdays especially, you look out there, you're like, there's one. Oh, there's two boats out there. So again, it's about knowing your vessel, knowing your skill, and then making wise decisions about boating. Because like I said, I was on a big boat and we caught a wake from the side at night, and it still threw people around. So you just need to be a prudent boater and know your skill level too, because I think in a lot of instances you have people that have driven their uncle's boat one time, and they go out in the middle of a 4th of July weekend on a smaller boat, and it's like, that's not wise. Don't do that. So you just know your boat, know your skill level.
And, take some classes, or go watch a couple of YouTube videos.
There's a right way and a wrong way to take a wake, too, right?
There
and
really
so again,
is.
some of that stuff is, it's not just this like, no, there are no problems, or, oh my gosh, this place is, just completely ruined and we can't. No, it's just know your boat, know your skill level, and be wise about what you're doing and where you're going.
So the $1 million question, are the boats getting too big on the Lake of the Ozarks?
No one can answer that question.
No,
it's an impossible
it
question
depends
to
on
answer,
which side
right?
you're coming
Because
from.
a boat salesman would say, no, let's sell bigger ones, right? And then people with small boats would go, yes, they're too big. And people with big boats would go, no, I think it's fine. So like, who gets to answer that question?
Well, and the reality of it is they're not going away. There's too much money involved. They are not going to take those boats off the lake.
No, and again, you don't have those boats on a lot of other lakes. And so that element, so many things about the lake make the lake unique in so many ways. And again, it's like, I'm not trying to say like, well, then go to another lake if you don't like this one. But my point is, like, the Lake of the Ozarks is very unique in so many ways. And that's one of the ways in which it's unique. People with large cruisers those guys inject a ton of money into the lake economy.
Yeah.
And they spend a lot on gas at marinas. They spend a lot at the restaurants.
That's the main reason why they'll never go away.
Right. And you have to at least recognize that that's meaningful at the lake. So again, it's a complicated issue, makes people worked up both directions, but you're right, it's not going to change. And there's no way to like definitively answer, are the boats too big?
There you go. But it's fun to talk about.
It is always fun to talk about.
So, we've got so much more to talk about. Other things happening on the water and this new entertainment district possibly coming. It's been signed by the governor and everything. We'll talk about that. But before we get to that, we want to get you updated on the duck drop. That's coming up fast too. And there's a bunch of new things happening. So we asked Jacob Hewitt, all right, from the local Kiwanis to come in, talk about that.
Take Lake TV with you wherever you go. Watch Lake TV on demand on YouTube, Roku, and Fire TV.
So Jacob, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Appreciate that. The duck drop, it's duck drop time. And you're kind of the guy in charge of letting everybody know about it. You've got a lot of stuff going on with the duck drop this year. So tell us about some of the events and when it all goes down.
Yeah, so with the duck drop, we have a duck drop golf tournament. We have the actual duck drop event. And then this year, we heard a lot of feedback from the community. Talking with you guys last year, it was brought up that there used to be a carnival around the duck drop, and that was missed. So we're actually bringing the carnival back this year as well.
Cool, and you got a good place to do it too, right?
We do, yep.
All right. Okay, so who does this support? Duck drop supports somebody. Who?
Yeah. So everything that our Kiwanis Club does supports children in the local area.
Okay.
So all the funds we raise for the duck drop golf tournament. The golf tournament, we actually do a 50-50 split with the local Big Brothers Big Sisters organization.
Okay.
So proceeds that we get from that, we split with that group, and then we use the rest of the proceeds we get to support the grants and different things that we give back to local kids in the area. We did 4 scholarships this year. We do 4 scholarships every year for local graduating students. Among other grants that we do throughout the years. This year we gave about $35,000 to organizations and efforts to help local children.
That's pretty cool. And this is all with the Kiwanis Ozark Coast, right?
Yes, that is correct.
It's cool. Ozark Coast,
Yep.
Kiwanis. Okay, so I think the first thing coming up is the golf tournament. When is that?
Yeah, so our golf tournament is going to be July 27th, not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday.
Okay.
We do still have room for a few more teams and sponsors to sign up, which can be done online at www.greatdamduckdrop.com.
Okay.
So you can sign up online, or you can reach out to Kiwanis. I will give you an email that we can plug on our Facebook and socials to reach out to our organization. If you don't want to go to the website, you can email us, and we can facilitate sponsorships that way.
It's pretty easy to remember. GreatDamDuckDrop.com, right?
Yep, that's super easy.
That's like perfect. Okay, so I'm super interested in this carnival.
Yeah.
So apparently they used to do it, stopped doing it, and you're bringing it back, and it's on the Strip?
Yep, so it's going to be up at Two-Bit Town,
Okay.
just at the top of the Strip there. Area was donated by Reese Development, and so we're going to have, we'll have a couple inflatables. We're going to have a face painter that was donated by Shady Gators, so parents, kids can come. Everything is free of charge, so there's no cost to people coming from the local community. We'll have fun for the kids. And then we'll also have carnival games set up with local nonprofits. Most of our booths there are going to be local nonprofits, so kids can have fun with the carnival games, and parents, adults can come see what is available in the area to support, and who's out there and what organizations we have to help.
Okay, and when is that?
That is going to be Saturday the 2nd
Okay.
from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Right.
That also coincides with our actual dropping of the ducks,
Right.
which will happen at noon, right off of the Bagnell Dam Bridge.
Yep.
At the carnival, we are planning on having the duck drop itself live streamed, so we're hoping to have a projector there, have it able to be live streamed. So if you're going to the carnival, you can watch what's happening at the bridge with the ducks, where they're going, see them try to swim out. I know the river down there is moving pretty quick right now, so we're hoping to have a really good race there with the ducks as we drop them out. I'll be in the helicopter, so I get to drop the ducks out of the helicopter. That's always a fun part each year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all of that will take place on Saturday, August 2nd.
Okay.
So that's 3 Saturdays from
And
now.
what does the winning duck get?
Yeah, so the winning duck receives a prize of $5,000.
Wow.
And then our second and third place ducks will also receive a cash prize, and I believe the third place is a gift card. And then our last place duck, the last duck that gets picked up, whoever makes it, whichever duck is the last man standing, whoever had that duck will also get a prize.
Mr. Irrelevant Duck, right?
Yep, that's fun one we like to plug.
Okay, and also, along with the duck drop, you guys, Kiwanis, Ozark Coast, you do a Christmas for Kids event too, so you kind of do stuff year-round to try to help the kids.
Yeah, we really have these two events that are two big events that help support what we're doing on a year-round basis. So we do our duck drop in the summer, and then we do Christmas for Kids right around December. That'll be the first weekend in December at Encore this year.
Okay.
And so we thank Encore for their support. They've supported us the last 3 or 4 years that it's been at their location. And we had a really great turnout last year. We had some really great auction items. For Christmas for Kids, we do a silent end live auction. And so last year we had a ton of great items, expecting to have even more this year, and just really hoping we can boost the turnout this year to a really fun event.
Okay, so real quick, if folks want to get more information on the duck drop or whatever you guys are doing, whether it's the Christmas for Kids, where do they go? Where do they get this info?
Yeah, the www.greatdamduckdrop.com is a website. Also, our Facebook page is super easy as well. Great Dam Duck Drop.
There you go. Easy to remember. Jacob Hewitt, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. We'll be back with more Cup of Coffee.
Don't miss out on your favorite show. Watch Lake TV on demand on YouTube, Roku, and Fire TV.
Duck drop is always fun, coming fast. Got the carnival this year.
Yep. Bring
so that'll be
kids.
kind of cool. Yeah, bring the kids. And that is like August 2nd.
August 2nd,
I
yep.
think, Saturday, August 2nd. Okay, so we were talking about some crazy thing that's been happening on the water. We had the alleged domestic a dispute on a boat that fled. We had a capsized pontoon because of big cruisers. Ooh, that's a hard story there. Okay, so another boat fire this week, right? There's been like 3, 4, 5 of these in the last couple of months.
I don't think we ever make it through a summer without there being a few.
No.
Right? It happens. A boat has mechanical issues or whatever. This one was right after refueling. And in fact, read the comment section and you'll find that people didn't read the article, actually. So read the article, you'll find out things. We don't post it all to Facebook. We save the good stuff for the website. But this guy, according to what we were told by the Highway Patrol, was he actually ran the blower correctly, which blows out, moves the fumes out, right? Because if you don't do that, that can be a problem if there's a spark when you try to start the engine, then you can have boom. So he ran the blower, got away from the dock a little bit. Something, it sounded like, happened where the blower died or shut off or something. Like that was what we were told, was there was some kind of issue with the blower, and then fire shortly after that. So, my gosh, you can pull that apart and diagnose what happened there. I don't know. But an interesting one, because often it's like, oh, well, the guy didn't have the blower on or whatever. And then everybody goes, oh, well, that's what it was, whether it was or not. In this case, he did run it. And then it sounds like it shut off.
Something didn't work. Yeah. But that seems like has been the main culprit of most all of these boat fires recently, is they were refueling and something went wrong.
Yeah, that's a critical point, right? I mean, there's obviously a lot of safety practices, dock attendants and stuff have things they know to do. Yeah. Because it's not quite the same as refueling your car, right? It's like a different animal.
Way different. Yeah. Okay, another weird one, a huge rope, right? Strung across stretch of Lake of the Ozarks, the main channel, was pulled from the water by a local towing company and dive salvage company. Have tripped up multiple boaters during the 4th of July weekend. So you got this big rope, 2 inches in diameter, strung across
not the whole channel, but it was like on the corner. It was over there in the channel, kind of near a cove, across the channel from the Lodge of Four Seasons. And what Chris from Upstream Towing told us was that multiple boaters had hit it over the weekend. One managed to kind of get untangled or whatever and keep going. Another one, they were going and it grabbed the propeller. And it was almost like the stop and like everybody fell and it ruined the lower unit on the boat. And so they're kind of stuck. And I think my understanding is he got a call to tow that boat. And then was like, we got to get this out of the water. Well, it was tied. It was, tied to something way down, who knows, 60, 70 feet. I don't even know how deep in the lake. So he gets the aquatic cowboy. Everybody's seen that guy around the socials. He goes out there and flexes his biceps and then
kind of looks like you, I guess.
Oh, yeah, exactly like me. And then dives down and pulls up somebody's cell phone out of the lake or whatever. But they worked together and got that rope out. Just did it just to be cool and to help boaters out. So that was very cool. Problem, of course, is there's probably a lot more of those out there, so they may start getting called.
That's kind of scary, though, because you're not looking for stuff like that when you're boating. Keep your eye out for rope strung across them.
Well, right, and you can't always see it. If it's just below the surface, it's you're moving. It's hard to see, and then all of a sudden, everybody's like, it's like you slammed on the brakes. It's like boom, and everybody falls. And anyways,
and they still don't know where that came from. It was probably holding up wave brakes or something.
They thought maybe it was originally a wave brake rope, and then the wave brake got moved, and the rope didn't get cut off low, or who knows, I mean, this, that happens occasionally, and
it does.
Weird deal, but kudos to those guys for removing.
Yes, thank you for doing that, guys. Appreciate that. Okay, and here's another huge story. I mean, we've had so many big stories this week. We pushed this all the way down, but this could be the biggest one of them all. So here's what it says. The LEAD, which stands for something, LEAD celebrates passage of House Bill 199, clearing the way for a locally controlled entertainment district on the Bagnell Dam Strip. This is a big deal here, especially considered what's been happening the last few years with monies that used to be spent to promote the lake, and that went away and everything. So here's what the story says. New law gives the city of Lake Ozark the freedom to promote events, enhance public safety, accelerate economic growth along Missouri's most famous lakefront corridor. This LEAD stands for Lake Economic Alliance for Development. And they applaud the governor for signing the House bill. So what this does, it seems like, in the early stages, and neither one of us really know a whole lot about it, but it seems like this is going to open the door for another organization to really powerfully promote the Lake of the Ozarks.
I don't know in terms of the revenue and what they're going to do with that, but I know that it opens up, like, I think the big piece of that, the entertainment district element of that, what that means is, down on the Strip, there's like an event going on that's in summertime, like every weekend, it seems like mostly. And business owners kind of have to come together to the city and get approval for like open alcohol container permits every single time. And this basically gives that area a special designation that says you don't have to go back and apply for a permit every single time. It makes it an open container area
can kind of set your own
on the
rules
Strip,
in a way.
kind of in perpetuity down there. What I think the business owners there see is, that's kind of just a major hurdle removed to those kinds of events.
Yep.
And I think they feel like that's going to open the door for more things to just go on down there. The designation, there's other places in Missouri. The Kansas City Power and Light District, I think, is this. And then Ballpark Village is this too. So there are areas that are kind of these semi-contained, kind of developed areas where it's like open alcohol container laws are often there to prevent people like going out of this business, going down the road and going into this business, or just meandering along the streets. But the idea behind these laws is that you've got a contained, kind of controlled area that's a little different. So that's what's behind this. I think this may end up also applying, don't quote me on this, but to the Oasis at Lakeport as well. I don't think it's just specific to the Strip. I think it also can apply to some other areas
in that general
around
vicinity,
the lake.
right?
Yeah.
And it says future entertainment district could staff full-time coordinators, promote events, hire additional security, and set responsible open container rules that differ from typical statewide regulations.
I think what they're trying to say there is it's not like it's going to be some, debauched free-for-all fest down. Right? It's like, okay, we're going to regulate it the way we see as appropriate to regulate that down there. So I think that's what I'm reading in that
I do too. And it's interesting because there's been a whole discussion about lodging taxes and stuff the last couple of years. I think that all needs to be figured out with how that's going to play into this.
It may be connected. I mean, not connected, but that may be an answer to some of the how do we promote events, where does some funding come from, all that stuff.
Under city ordinances, an entertainment district cannot go live until a companion community improvement district is formed to provide sustainable funding pending voter approval.
So, they have to create a community improvement district for that area. That's what I mean. It's like a delineated special region.
Yeah. Okay, so real quickly, we had the story last week about that crazy helicopter flying around over the lake on the 4th of July. Have you heard if there's been any arrests or anything like that?
No, and I don't know that there would be any arrests. I was talking with a friend who's familiar with that world a little bit, and there definitely could be fines, or you could get kind of a warning and that kind of thing. That's a little harder to even find out if that's happened. I think you'd have to do like a Freedom of Information Act FOIA request or something. So I don't know, but what I was told was that the guy or whoever it was that was flying that helicopter was doing that around the lake. You saw in the comments, people were like, he buzzed our boat or whatever, and they're all over the place.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that got people buzzing. And of course, a couple people showed up and said, well, you guys got to make a big deal out of this. Like, it was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, what if that thing had crashed?
Well, right.
Okay, we're running out of time, but you had a special shout out this week, right?
Yes. So Scott Beecher, I hope I didn't butcher your name, and daughter Annabelle. So Scott got a hold of me out of the blue and was like, man, I love Lake TV's Cup of Coffee. We watch it every week, and I love when you go on. And he sent us a little bit of swag from his company and appreciated that. And he said, man, would you give a shout out to Annabelle next time? So shout out to those guys. Thanks for being faithful Lake TV watchers and Lake Expo fans too. And thanks for the swag.
And what's not to like? But I didn't get any swag.
Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
Now.
No,
That's
maybe I'll send you something.
A little off there. Okay, want to tell you about a special fundraiser for the Camden County Museum that's coming up, right? They need to fix the roof, right? So August 2nd, same day as the duck drop, from 4 to 7 p.m., they're going to have an all-you-can-eat fish fry, $20 donations for each, $10 for kids 10 and younger. So again, this is the Camden County Museum. So go to their website. You can get some more information on that. On our Community Spotlight show this week, we're talking with Desiree Kelly from COMC. She's a community coordinator. So that's pretty cool. We didn't get time to talk about your Cardinals.
Oh.
Yeah. Man, it might be a good thing.
Hit the ball.
Okay, you're going to be joining me again in 2 weeks.
There you go. We'll have some good things to say.
So we'll talk then. Yeah, hopefully they'll win a game or two. And believe it or not, we're only a month away from football. High school football season starts in a little over a month. We've got our schedule for you on Lake TV. Camdenton games, Osage games, Eldon games, California games. So be looking for that schedule. But we're out of time this week. Thank you. I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
All right.
He's our buddy, Nathan Bechtold. Thank you for joining us for Lake TV's Cup of Coffee.